How's everybody going out there? Hope you're all living the life. Just wanted to touch base today. Some things been on my mind. I just wanted to kind of share them and see if there's anybody else out there that kind of understands what this is like, and if not, maybe this will help shed some light on some of the things that we struggle with from time to time, and give us a way to perhaps approach some of those problems a little bit more effectively. I basically wanted to talk about briefly about my experiences trying to gain confidence, trying to feel good about what I'm doing, feel good about myself. That was a real challenge for me for quite a long time, and it still is from time to time. I question, is this the right way to go about things? Is this the best way to do stuff? Am I missing something? Maybe I'm getting this all wrong. I just think that as we're faced with these challenges, at least what's worked for me is to look inward and to think about, hey, if I were my own audience, if I was my cheering section, I was on stage and it was just me in the audience, looking up at me, watching me perform, doing my day-to-day, would I be cheering? Would I be applauding my efforts? Would I be proud of the person on stage? Would I want to hang around and watch the show, right? I think trying to remind myself, how do I feel about what I'm doing? Would I be my biggest fan? Would I? Because I think it starts there, at least for me. How can I expect anybody else to believe in what I'm doing if I don't believe in what I'm doing? If I don't feel like this is me, and I'm doing what I can to the best of my ability. And if I'm not, I'm being honest as well, right? So that's been very helpful to me. And I think with that, it helped me in two ways, and perhaps this resonates with some of you out there as well. When you are on the same page as yourself, right? If you are saying to yourself, yes, this is what I should be doing, I feel good about the decision I'm making right now, and other people don't, the first thing is, what you want to do. You believe in yourself. So if someone else doesn't believe in what you're doing, it's okay. It doesn't take the sting away completely, but it puts it in perspective, right? It's no longer, oh gosh, maybe I'm doing it wrong, with nothing else to reinforce your own position with, because you've got yourself. You just have been, working with yourself, and on the inside that you believe in what you're doing. So if someone comes at you from the outside and says, oh, you didn't do a good job, or hey, I think you're doing it wrong, or, what were you thinking, or whatever it is, if it's something that you believe in, then you've got a little bit of psychological armor built in, right? Because this is something that you think is the right thing to do, and you support yourself, even if some other people don't support you. The other thing is, when you are in charge of your own cheering section, so to speak, when others do support you, you're being real, right? You're being honest. You're not trying to manipulate people. You're not trying to get them to see things your way, per se. This is the way you are. And I think that has the most genuine positive impact on people, and they can tell when you're being you, right? If you are really trying hard to do something that isn't natural, of course you feel it inside, and you might worry that other people see it outside. But if it's something that you really believe in and something that you're passionate about, you feel like you inside. And that's really so important, because that helps you feel authentic. That helps you, that gives you this energy, this frequency that you put out that is authentic. So that's one thing I just wanted to say is, when we have trouble and confidence, we lacking confidence, and we worry about what other people think, and gosh, maybe we're not as good as we thought we were. Oftentimes, I feel that looking inward and really understanding where that's coming from, how we feel about ourselves, right? If we really know that we're doing the best we can, if we really know we put our best foot forward, we're not gonna come away from an experience feeling like, oh, that was terrible, if we didn't do great in someone else's eyes, right? Because we're going to know I did the best I could. I put my best foot forward. I studied, I worked hard, I trained, whatever it was. And the results are the results, right? We can't control the results. We can control the intent, right? We can control the effort, the discipline, everything that goes into it. And if we believe in what we're doing, then the results don't matter as much, right? Because we know what we were trying to do. We know how much effort we put into it. So that's one thing I just wanted to share today. And I think the other thing is, it can be hard to get into a groove. It can be hard to get yourself to the point where it's like, hey, you know, I'm gonna do great. I'm gonna do these things and all these things that I really wanted to do. I'm gonna start chipping away at them and really make them happen. And I think that keeping that inner voice, right? Keeping and listening to our why. Why are we doing it, right? If we understand why we're doing what we're doing, then it's much easier to take steps. And I honestly feel if our why is not strong enough, then that we're eventually going to falter. But I am 100% certain that if you've got a why that is, that's it. There's nothing else. That is your why. This is why you do what you do. This is who you are, and therefore, that why will carry you no matter what. You'll be discouraged, you'll have setbacks, you'll have challenges, you'll have obstacles, failures. Your why will keep you going if it is your real why. So, once you know what that why is, it's not like, at least in my experience, it hasn't been the case where everything falls into place. It's not like, oh, now I know what I'm going to do and everything is going to be easy. No, it's still a little bit at a time. You need to start keeping your why in your mind, taking those little steps. And you need to start with these little wins. And these little wins reinforce each other and they're pattern changes, right? So once you know your why, you know you have to start moving things around. You may not know how, but start with something small. What I've found is that if you start the day off with a win, even the smallest win, it can really influence the rest of your day. And it could be anything, It could be it could be making your bed, right? That's a win. It could be stretching in the morning. It could be working out in the morning. It could be listening to a positive video, an inspirational video every morning. Whatever it is, get these wins in early because it sets the pace for the rest of your day, right? So once you start getting these little wins, you'll start to be able to make more changes. And then your inner cheerleaders will be going for you, right? They'll be like, hey, all right, you're doing great. Make these other additional changes. How about instead of watching an hour of TV today, let's watch a half hour. How about instead of going to bed at 11, let's go to bed at 10:45. How about instead of getting up at 6:45, let's get up at 6:30. All these little things, right? How about instead of doing this, we read a book? How about instead of doing this, we listen to something educational so we can feed our minds that'll help us get further along in our whatever our why is and accomplishing that. So these little things. So keeping your why, don't lose your why, keep that front and center no matter what you're doing. Think about, would you cheer for yourself? Would you be your biggest cheerleader before you ask anybody else to follow you or to support you? Support yourself. Make sure you believe in you, and then others will follow, right? Then everything else will, you'll be able to tackle everything else a lot easier. So that's, just a little bit of what I wanted to share today. That's what's helped me. I don't know, maybe that resonates with some of you out there as well. Definitely let me know your thoughts. And that's all I got for today. So stay humble, stay strong. Take care.